Let me guess. You've probably heard someone say the secret to making more money is attending more events, meeting more people, making more calls, sending more messages, and constantly putting yourself out there. For some people, that sounds exciting. For an introvert, it can sound exhausting. It's not that introverts are afraid of people. Most introverts simply don't want to spend every day performing, pitching, and trying to convince strangers to buy something. The good news is you don't have to build your income that way. Passive income can actually be a natural advantage for an introvert because it's built around systems instead of constant social interaction. You create something useful once. You set up a process that helps people find it. Then the system keeps working even when you're not online, attending an event, or talking to someone on the phone. Now, let me be honest. Passive income doesn't mean you do absolutely nothing. Most passive income streams require work in the beginning. You'll have to create the product, build the system, attract an audience, and improve the process. The goal isn't to avoid work. The goal is to stop trading every hour of your time for one payment. That brings us to the first strategy. Create a simple digital product that solves one specific problem. A digital product could be an ebook, checklist, workbook, template, planner, short course, video guide, travel guide, meal plan, content calendar, or collection of scripts. You don't have to create a massive online course with 50 lessons. You can start with something small and useful. Ask yourself this question. What's something people regularly ask me for help with? Maybe people ask you how to plan an affordable vacation. Maybe they ask you how to organize social media content. Maybe they ask you how to start a home business. Maybe they ask you how to create videos, manage a budget, prepare meals, improve their resume, or use artificial intelligence. Those questions can become digital products. For example, imagine you know how to plan a cruise. Instead of explaining the same information individually to 20 different people, you could create a cruise planning guide. The guide could include the best time to book, what documents travelers need, how to choose a cabin, what to pack, how excursions work, how to create a vacation budget. You create the guide once, place it on a simple sales page, and allow people to purchase or download it automatically. That's systems over schmoozing. You're not chasing people around the internet. You're creating something that answers their questions before they ever speak with you. That's one reason digital products are one of the best forms of passive income for beginners. The cost to create them can be very low. You don't need inventory. You don't have to ship boxes. You don't need a warehouse. You can create the product using tools you may already have, such as Canva, Google Docs, ChatGPT, or a basic video platform. The most important part isn't making the product look complicated. The most important part is making it useful. Don't try to solve 10 different problems in one product. Solve one clear problem for one clear person. Instead of creating a guide called Everything You Need to Know About Travel, create something specific like the First Time Cruiser Checklist. Instead of creating a course called How to Use Social Media, create 30 Facebook post ideas for new travel agents. Specific products are easier to explain, easier to create, and easier for customers to understand. Once your product is ready, set up a simple process. Someone discovers your content, they click a link, they read about the product, they complete the purchase, the product is delivered automatically. You can use an email system to send helpful follow-up messages and introduce other products later. Your system handles the repetitive parts. You focus on creating useful information and improving the experience. That's the introvert entrepreneur advantage. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You just need to be the person who created the clearest solution. Before creating your first digital product, remember these 3 rules. First, start with a problem you understand. Second, keep your first product simple. Third, build the product around a result people want. People don't purchase a checklist because they love checklists. They purchase it because they want to feel prepared. People don't purchase a content calendar because they love calendars. They purchase it because they're tired of wondering what to post. Sell the result, not the number of pages. Your first digital product may not create thousands of dollars immediately. That's okay. Your first goal is to prove someone's willing to pay for a solution you created. Once you have that proof, you can improve the product, add related resources, and create a complete digital product library. One small product can become the beginning of an income producing system. And you can build it without trying to become an internet celebrity. The second passive income strategy for introverts is affiliate marketing through helpful content. Affiliate marketing means recommending a product, service, platform, or tool and receiving a commission when someone purchases through your referral link. However, many people approach affiliate marketing the wrong way. They post links everywhere. They send random messages. They tell everyone to buy something without explaining how it helps. That's not a system. That's digital door knocking. A better approach is creating content that answers questions people are already asking. Think of your content as a helpful employee that works all day and night. A video you create today could be discovered 6 months from now. A blog post could continue appearing in search results. A Facebook post could be shared by someone in your audience. A resource page could introduce new visitors to the tools you use. This allows you to earn from your knowledge without constantly starting new conversations. For example, suppose you use a particular tool to plan vacations. Instead of posting "buy this travel tool through my link," create a video called "How I Organize Every Part of a Family Vacation." In the video, show the planning process, explain the problem the tool solves, show who would benefit from it, discuss its advantages and limitations, then place your affiliate link in the description. Now you're not pressuring anyone. You're educating people and allowing them to make their own decision. This is especially effective for an introvert entrepreneur because you can communicate through prepared content. You can think about your message, you can organize your ideas, you can record the content when you feel comfortable. You don't have to depend on spontaneous conversations or aggressive sales presentations. There are 3 types of affiliate content that work especially well. The first is tutorial content. Tutorials show people how to accomplish a specific task. Examples might include how to create a travel budget, how to make a Facebook content calendar, how to organize customer information, how to create a video using artificial intelligence, how to choose the right cruise cabin. During the tutorial, you can naturally mention the tools you use. The second type is comparison content. People often search for information before spending money. You could compare 2 services, 2 products, 2 destinations, or 2 software platforms. Explain what each option does well. Explain who each option is best for. Be honest about the weaknesses. Trust creates more long-term income than hype. The third type is resource content. Create a page, video, or downloadable guide that includes your recommended tools and services. For example, you could create "My Favorite Tools for Running an Online Travel Business." Each recommendation should include a brief explanation of why you use it. Don't recommend everything. Recommend resources you understand and genuinely believe are helpful. Your audience can tell when you're recommending something only because you want a commission. Affiliate marketing works best when the recommendation feels like guidance rather than a pitch. Now, where should you publish this content? You can use YouTube, Facebook, a blog, an email list, or a combination of platforms. You don't have to be everywhere. Choose one main platform where your audience already spends time. Then create searchable content. Searchable content is different from content that disappears after one day. A post about what you ate for lunch may receive attention for a few hours. A video called 5 Mistakes First-Time Cruisers Make could continue attracting viewers for months or even years. This is where your keywords matter. A phrase such as "passive income for beginners" tells search platforms what your content is about. A phrase such as "introvert entrepreneur" helps your message reach people who identify with that specific challenge. Don't repeat keywords in an unnatural way. Use them in your title, introduction, description, and wherever they naturally support the topic. Think of each piece of content as an entry point into your business. One person may find a tutorial, another may find a comparison, another may download a free guide. The content brings them into your system. Your email list continues the relationship. Your recommendations give them a next step. This process can happen without you personally contacting every individual. However, there's an important rule. Don't build your entire business on platforms you don't control. Facebook, YouTube, and other social platforms can help you reach people, but your email list gives you a more direct connection with your audience. Offer a useful free resource in exchange for an email address. Then send helpful information consistently. Your free resource could be a checklist, mini guide, planner, or short training. Once the email system is built, it can welcome new subscribers automatically. It can deliver your resource. It can share helpful tips. It can recommend relevant products. It can invite people to take the next step. You're still serving people, but you're serving them through a repeatable system. That's passive income done correctly. The third strategy is turning something you currently do manually into a productized or automated service. A traditional service business usually requires you to find a client, hold a meeting, create a custom plan, complete the work, and repeat the entire process for the next client. That can create income, but it can also consume your time. A productized service takes a task you already understand and turns it into a repeatable package. Instead of creating something completely different for every customer, you use a clear process, standard templates, and automated delivery whenever possible. For example, imagine people ask you to create social media posts. You could offer a custom service where you interview every client and create 30 completely different posts. Or you could create an industry-specific content package. The customer selects their industry, they complete a short form, your system delivers a prepared set of captions, prompts, and content ideas. You could also offer an upgraded version that includes limited customization. The foundation stays the same, which reduces the amount of work required for every sale. Another example would be travel planning. You may not be able to automate every part of a custom vacation, but you can automate the early stages. A client completes a travel request form. The form collects their preferred destination, budget, travel dates, number of travelers, and interests. An email system confirms the request and explains what happens next. A scheduling tool allows qualified clients to choose an appointment time. Frequently asked questions are answered through a guide or video. By the time you speak with the client, much of the repetitive work has already been completed. That may not be completely passive income, but it creates leveraged income. Leveraged income means your systems allow you to help more people without increasing your workload at the same rate. This is important because not every passive income strategy has to operate without any involvement from you. Sometimes the best strategy is making your active income more efficient and using the extra time to build passive assets. You can also create memberships or resource libraries. A membership gives customers access to new information, templates, training, or support for a recurring monthly fee. For example, you could create a monthly travel club that includes destination guides, packing lists, travel deal education, and group planning resources. You could create a content membership for new entrepreneurs that provides monthly post ideas, video topics, scripts, and marketing templates. You could create a beginner business library that teaches people how to set up their online presence, organize their contacts, and follow up professionally. The key is creating a membership that provides ongoing value without requiring you to create something from scratch every day. You might add one new training each month. You might host one monthly question and answer session. You might update templates when needed. The system handles billing, access, email communication, and content delivery. Another powerful option is licensing your knowledge. Licensing means giving another person or business permission to use your materials under specific terms. For example, if you create training materials for new travel agents, another team leader might pay to use those materials with their organization. If you create social media templates, a small business owner might purchase the right to customize and use them. Licensing allows the same work to generate income from multiple customers. Once again, the goal isn't to create a business where you never lift a finger. The goal is to create assets that can serve more than one person. Here's a simple way to identify your best opportunity. Write down every task you repeat in your business. Which questions do you answer repeatedly? Which instructions do you give repeatedly? Which documents do you create repeatedly? Which process do you explain to every new customer or team member? Repeated work is often a sign that something can be turned into a system. Create a video instead of explaining the same thing every week. Create a template instead of rebuilding the same document. Create a form instead of collecting information through several messages. Create an email sequence instead of manually sending every follow-up. Create a resource library instead of searching for the same links repeatedly. This is how an introvert builds leverage. You don't need to become more aggressive. You need to become more organized. You don't need to speak with hundreds of people every day. You need to create systems that can help hundreds of people over time. Let's review the 3 strategies. Strategy 1 is creating digital products that solve specific problems. Strategy 2 is using helpful content and affiliate recommendations to create income from information people are already searching for. Strategy 3 is turning your knowledge and repeated work into automated services, memberships, templates, and systems. You don't have to begin with all 3. Choose one, create the smallest useful version, test it with real people, listen to their feedback, improve the system, then build the next part. Being an introvert isn't a weakness in business. Introverts are often thoughtful observers. They listen carefully, they notice problems, they prepare before they speak. They can focus deeply. Those qualities are incredibly valuable when building systems, products, educational content, and automated processes. The loudest entrepreneur doesn't always build the strongest business. Sometimes the strongest business is built quietly by someone who understands how to create value that keeps working. So, stop believing success requires you to sell yourself every day. You don't have to turn your personality into a performance. Create useful solutions. Build trustworthy content. Automate repetitive work. Let your systems speak for you. That's the real opportunity behind passive income for beginners. And that's how an introvert entrepreneur can build income without becoming someone they're not. Which of these 3 strategies fits you best? Creating a digital product, earning through helpful recommendations, or turning your knowledge into an automated system? Leave your answer in the comments. Follow this page for more practical strategies on using content, technology, and simple systems to build an online business without chasing people or pretending to be someone you're not. Remember, everything is possible through God.